Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about Pillars of Eternity. It's an Obsidian video game, it's a role-playing game, it's a CRPG. It's quite well known, but not as known as many of us who like the game want to. And as I've told you before, the channel will broaden a bit. I will talk about books, of course, and Malazan Book of the Fallen especially, but also talk about storytelling in other forms. We learn about fantasy in video games, in movies, series on Netflix or HBO or whatever you watch, and of course in video games. So today, Pillars of Eternity, and it's a game I played since 2015, something like that, almost related to the pandemic. And I really got caught by this game. I was recommended to play it by a friend. I heard it was D&D like in its structure and also very inspired by the Baldur's Gate games that were early, 1 and 2. So for me, as being a nostalgic guy, I got really interested in to check this game out, and I'm happy that I did, because the lore in this game is very, very deep, and it's a very, very Malazan-esque, Malazan-like, or Malazan similar, I would say. And that, of course, drew my attention to the game. I started to play Pillars of Eternity before I started to read the Malazan books. And today I wanted to introduce some um, basic lore concept in Pillars of Eternity, because I will return to this world and to this way of telling stories. If you play the game, if you know the game, please shout out in the comments below. Why do you like the game? And especially if you like storytelling and the lore, what do you like with the game? And maybe you haven't played the game, maybe you are only reading books, or maybe you are only playing games. And I hope this can be a um, good combination, both for you and also for the channel. So let's dive right into it. What is Pillars of Eternity? No surprise, in CRPGs, you usually control up to maybe 5 adventurers. The same in this game. You create your own adventure. You embark on this mission, and you start. I think you start up here. Uh, See if this works. Yeah, Gilded Vale. So you are a part of a caravan, and the caravan has to stop for a certain reason. That is, of course, a mysterious reason. You don't really know why. Something special is happening in this very beautiful world. It's very atmospheric. I will make some footage after this video and put up on the channel just on the gameplay, so you see how it looks. And there is something special in this world, which inhibits, of course, gods, and you have a rich history. It's a certain calendar, Anni Irokio. It's the calendar. It's a certain calendar, Anni Irokio. It's difficult to say. The year has 334 days, and there are 16 months, and there are 2 moons. Not surprise for us fantasy readers or fantasy gamers, but nice to know. The story focuses around a few concepts. The first one is Adra. It's a organic material. It's stone-like, and you can find Adra stones all over the world of Eora, which the world is called. The Adra stones are turquoise, I think you say in English, like the StreamYard duck, the color, and it glimmers, and it's very popular material because it's very easy to shape. It's used by artisans But it's also used by the so-called animancers, a kind of magicians, you can say. I will come to that very soon. Because this material has a unique quality to hold souls and to draw um, souls into it and to channel souls. So this game has a deep spiritual connection to the soul. Um, I think that's very interesting, at least for me. There's also something called animancy. Um, you can say that, and there are animancers. So animancy is the science of the soul, the soul manipulation, science of soul manipulation, and it's banned in different parts of Eora, in Edir, for example, and we also have other places of Eora where it's not banned, like Dyrwood and the Valian Republic, for example. Um, these two concepts are very central, Adra and animancy. Then you also have a concept called the Watcher, because you as the main character in the game, the person you are role playing, you are a watcher, and that is something that you will discover. So it's a small spoiler, but if you don't know that, maybe the game doesn't sound so interesting. So I'll tell you. You are one who can see souls. You can read souls. You can talk with souls. You can experience the soul's previous experience or even the previous lives, for example. And there are that makes it work like you meet people and you can read their souls. So there are a lot of stories going on here. Both the main story about this mystery with the Adra, and this whole mystery with the animancy. But you also have people's stories, and if I'm correctly informed, that are backer story. But people backed this up on Kickstarter and in the heydays back many years ago, and uh, that's their stories. So I'm not sure how well tied these stories are into the overall plot, but it gives a deeper meaning, and you get deeper sense that this world has a huge lore. Uh, and it's not only on the structural level that um, fight against evil or anything like that, and there are countries and major powers in the world, and there are races with history. You also have individual stories, and I think that's something very well connected to the Malazan Book of the Fallen and the Malazan universe, because you can follow the overall plot, the structure, the power struggles, for example, between gods, etc. But you also follow the soldiers in the field in Malazan, and in a way you follow the individuals here in Pillars of Eternity as well. So that's a few concepts good to know of the game, and I will also talk a bit about the things that have happened in the beginning that are good to know. There are many gods in this world. Eothas is one of the most famous god, and you will get to know him very quickly, or at least his name. There has been a war called the Saints' War. It was a peasant revolt in a neighbor country here called Red Seras, and led by a god, Waidwen, and this Waidwen was said to be a vessel of Eothas. So this is no spoilers, because if you go into the encyclopedia, you can read it immediately. So this vessel of Eothas, this god, conquered Red Seras, but lost the fight in Dyrwood by a weapon called the God Hammer Bomb. Because of the loss, the ruler started to follow and purge um, followers of Aethas. So if you are a follower of Aethas in this world, you are followed, you are tortured, you can be murdered. Um, that was how it was in the Saints War. One person we get to follow here, which I like a lot, is Ader, and he has a strong connection to the Saints War because his brother fought the war and now he doesn't know where his brother is. That's a bit of a basic setting. I would also touch upon the gods. There are many gods in this world. I will make a video especially on the gods. And one thing that I really like with this book and ties the game into literature is that there are books in the CRPG. That's not uncommon. You will find it in Baldur's Gate, for example, and Pathfinder games. But I think the books in these games are very good and very interesting, and they really contribute to the story. Some books in video games doesn't do that. It's just there to get this feeling of immersion. And I found a book in the Hall of Revealed Mysteries in Defiance Bay. So we have Defiance Bay here. And the book is called The Enigmatic God of Cold. And it mentions a few gods, and I wanted to just mention them. The first one is Berath, also a central god in this world. Berath is the god of life, death, and rebirth. It's sometimes confused with another god called Rimmergund. We'll talk a little bit about him as well. But because Rimmergund oversees the destruction, the act of death itself. So they are tied, Berath and Rimmergund, but they are not the same. Berath decides who will be reborn and die. And Rimmergund is the one who chops off the head or kills the person or the nature or the animal or whatever it is. So Berath is life, death, and rebirth, birth, and then you have the symbol, the Rimmergund, and the symbol of him is a bone-white auroch skull, and that's a symbol of death and doom. And this god of death, you could say, Rimmergund, embodies all manifestations of collapse, famine, plague, bad luck. And it's said that this Rimmergund is called the Beast of Winter, as I've understood it so far. You correct me if I'm wrong here, because I don't know everything of this game. And when this Beast of Winter appears, every creature, every god has to flee. Wherever this Beast of Winter, Rimmergund, goes, death comes. And it's said that souls of the fallen can be seen in this beast's fur. So I just like the amount of effort they have put into these stories. There is another book called Excerpts from the Sermon of Struggle in the same library, and it's about Magran or Magran. It's the goddess of fire and war. You will also learn a lot of Magran in this first game. There are many games: Pillars of Eternity 1, then you have Deadfire, which is Pillars of Eternity 2, and then you now have Avowed, which is a action RPG, which I also enjoy, especially the lore parts. So if you really want to delve into a game and if you really like to get caught in the worlds, this is a great video game world that also is good to combine with fantasy literature, especially I would say all kinds of fantasy literature, but those who are lore heavy, like Lord of the Rings or Malazan Book of the Fallen. I think they are the two most lore heavy fantasy books out there ever. Sorry, Magran is the god of conquest as well, but this is not about bloodshed, because Magran's followers, they wage war because they have to. They are not barbarians, and they just do it because they have to. They have to put things in order. It's not what they have chosen. And followers of Magran, they find the divine in ecstasy, in discipline, and efficiency and excellence. So I think that's something to think about. If you want to role play character, you could follow these kind of things. Another god mentioned in the library here is Whale. It's a god of things hidden. Whale keeps secrets, and I think it's not seen so much. We don't know if you have a secret. Pray to Whale in Pillars of Eternity. Or would you keep a secret? So that was some concepts, and last one I can give you for free. It's a Vicht. It's a hollow-born child. It means that, I talked at the beginning about souls. That's central to the theme of the story in Pillars of Eternity. Children can be born without souls. As I understand it, this started to appear after Saints' War. And you're just thrown into this world. It's a beautiful, beautiful world. And the first game is hand painted. So the environment is great. So there are many good gameplay videos on Pillars of Eternity. So if you're curious, just write it in the search engine on YouTube and you'll find a video and you can see how it looks. It's gorgeous. The second game, Deadfire, I'm playing it right now. These are huge games, so you can be in them for hours and hours. And Avowed is also very beautiful, but I would recommend you to play the CRPGs first if you're not allergic to and don't like CRPGs at all. I've tried other CRPGs. I have many others. I like the Pathfinder games, but I don't think the story is so good in comparison, at least. Maybe I haven't played it too much because I was more into the technical stuff of creating characters in Pathfinder. And Baldur's Gate is, of course, a very, very good game, the Baldur's Gate 3. But for me, maybe almost a little bit too cinematic, and I think that has to do with me being a reader primarily. So this was a first introduction, and if you are still here, I can just tell you what I'm reading right now, and I'm finishing this book today. Ian C. Esselmont, Stonewielder, part of the Malazan universe. If you don't know that, there are two authors, Steven Erikson and Ian C. Esselmont. Steven Erikson is the most famous. It's extremely lore heavy, and if you like lore, if you like world building, if you like pantheons, etc., mythology, you should really read this, and you should play this, I think. So, did you like this video? Please comment below, and if you like the content, please subscribe, of course. If you're curious on world building in fantasy in general, I recommend you to follow this channel because I will go deeper into this and I will broaden this during the year. I also have some upcoming recordings with Samwise, Sam. Maybe it's called Samwise. Booktuber. The interest of lore for me goes deeper. I read some science fiction as well. At the moment, the Sun Eater series by Christopher Rucchio. So I'm all into this, and I've been since I was a very small child. I think maybe 7 or 8 years I fell into the trap of reading Narnia, and then it has got stuck on me even in an older age, and really discovered that, well, since I'm really interested into mythology, spirituality, and I'm a yoga practitioner myself, I found, not so surprisingly, the connections between mythology and fantasy and fantastical stories. There is a connection here. And I think fantasy can be a modern way of touching us deeply, touching our souls deeply, in a way that maybe religions and faiths cannot do today, for some people at least in the world. For others it can. So with that, I hope you will get a beautiful day, and I will make some videos this weekend, so keep your heads up, and please explore the channel. There are many author interviews And as I said, many lore videos, it will become more of that in the future. So take care, and it's sunny here in Sweden, so I hope it's sunny where you are today, no matter where you are in the world. Bye.